Alright, hello there and welcome to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a paid mod. This is the LBR 10 by Aiden Watts 3D. Now, I have covered this mod author in the past because they have put out some melee weapon mods that, in my opinion, were kind of low quality and very not worth the price. This is, I believe, they have made a weapon mod, so I'm interested to see how it turns out. It appears to be the high damage, high recoil, configurable laser barrel. I mean, it looks quite cool. It's got 30 attachments, so let's check it out, shall we? 400 credits, which, to be honest, it's a bit expensive for a weapon mod. But yeah, we're gonna check it out. I'm gonna swap over to PC to look at all the attachments and stuff, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're in game now. We're on the PC, and we go to Industrial Workbench, and we can make the weapon. It requires 1 iron and 1 aluminum. Let's go grab that. I will say I'm not with paid mods. I mean, look, I'm not against them being kind of easy to access, but I have a very funny feeling that, so let me just check. I'll be back. Let me just check some stuff before I start talking crap. So yeah, so I don't think the weapon is in the loot pool, which means that, I mean, some people might like that only you can get access to the weapon, but it also means that you won't find legendary variants. Which, I mean, yeah, I feel like when it comes to paid weapons in Starfield or weapon mods in general, the kind of expected requirements are that it's in the loot pool, so you can find it on NPCs, as well as finding it in vendors, which then allows you with NPCs, you can potentially find legendary variants. The fact that, yeah, this is a bit... So, the new weapon, the modified L... What the hell? Okay, so... It fires 3 kV, 28 damage, 35 in the mag, 120 fire rate, 44 range, 77 accuracy. I will say, like, texture-wise, it looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna deny it. It looks quite cool. It kind of looks a little bit like maybe like early Laredo prototype, which again, kind of, it's like, see, this is my other thing. Like, so I originally went to put up a video a couple of days ago, kind of talking about this kind of thing, but I chose against it because I didn't want to kind of make enemies with everybody. But I feel like if you're doing, like, and I've said this probably a few times already, if you're doing paid content for Starfield, like, you should make sure that it, like, fits in the lore of the game. Like, if you had have said that this was, like, you know, like an early prototype by Laredo to make, like, some sort of an energy weapon, I'd be like, that makes sense. Okay, I'm on, let me test it. Okay, so it's just using the Orion, not the Orion, the, Equinox. I have to say, the texturing is very good. Now, here's the thing, right? The other weapons the mod author did made me think that maybe, did the mod author actually make this, or did they, you know, did they buy it? Which, nothing inherently wrong with buying it. I mean, I would rather mod authors make their own weapons than, you know, buy them, but that's just me. All right, let's check out the modifications. So, standard barrel. So apparently flipping that little object like 180 degrees, no, 90 degrees makes it more accurate. Okay, so it's got a laser sight. Laser sight fits in the groove. Cool. Optic, we got medium scope, recon scope, reflex scope, torch scope. Really quickly check the scopes, just see what they look like. Not too bad, not too bad. And then we'll try the reflex. All right, all right. Let's muzzle. We've got. Okay, so that. Alright, so there's like slight changes here. We got focal lens, focus nozzle, stealth lasers. We'll do focus nozzle. Grip and stock. We've got wooden, polymer. What is polymer? We'll do polymer. Polymer looks kind of cool. Magazine. We've got electromagnetic, large. The large, they just made it a little bit longer. Standard, small. We'll do ignition beams. Internal, we've got amplifier, overclock, or precision tuning. We'll do amplified. Receiver. Oh, what the hell? Okay, we got 2-round hyper burst receiver that fires 2 pulls. Okay, let's see how that works. Yeah, this is definitely the Orion. It is the Orion because it has the logo of the actual Orion. I'm using the Varun version. Okay, so the mod author took the Orion basically, and kind of put a skin over it. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of what a lot of people do. We got 4-round burst, fully automatic, semi-automatic, blue 4-round burst. Actually, what I'm going to do is, do I have a standard Orion in here? I don't think I do. An Equinox. I want to test it up against the Orion because I have a very funny feeling it's going to be its stats are going to be. We're going to do full auto, and then skin. We got default skin, rarity 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. Okay, so that's fair. We'll do advanced. I'm going to spawn in Orion real quick. We'll be right back. Alright, so I spawned in an Orion, an advanced variant, and we're gonna just check them. So if we look at if we just compare the Orion to the commanders, let's see what we have. So I think this, just do the normal Orion. Just want to see what attachments we can get. Okay, I don't know if it'll do full round burst. It doesn't. I don't think it does allows full round burst. So if it's the Orion by default has 89 damage. 89 damage. 89 damage. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna test. Yeah, so the normal Orion obviously is single fire, and then this version is basically full auto. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to head to our usual location. We're going to go and check on Xbox. Just to see how it performs, and we will be right back. Alright, we're here on Xbox, and we are in our usual spot. We're on normal difficulty. We're going to test it. Yeah, the weapon performs. Hello? Probably should have shot a little bit later when I was closer. Hello. Yeah, so on normal difficulty, if you have it all the way up to advanced, it's quite overpowered. This is the other thing I feel like with paid weapon mods. I kind of wish mod authors would balance their weapons, because like in a perfect world with like all your different paid weapons, like they're going to be part of your kind of load order. You know, your almost like your vanilla gameplay sort of thing. So you want, you know, you're gonna add them to your load order, and you know, in a perfect world, enemies would use them, you would use them, sort of stuff, and they're balanced so that they're not completely overpowered or completely underpowered. Obviously, you can tweak this weapon. But the issue with it is, instead of the mod author configuring this weapon to follow the normal weapon tier system of calibrated, advanced, modified, stuff like that, the mod author opted to just allow you to craft it, which, by crafting it, all it really does is increase the damage, which you could argue that that's all that the tier system does, is increase the damage. Yeah, and some people might be perfectly fine with this weapon being kind of, you know, pretty powerful. I'm gonna swap to extreme real quick just to see. Oh, wrong button. Settings. Let's put the player damage extreme. We'll put the enemy damage on easy, just so that means the enemy won't hurt me enough, so I won't have to heal too much. All right, let's check it now. I have a feeling this is going to perform very well on extreme. Okay. Yeah, so this is a viable weapon on extreme, which some people are, you know, going to be perfectly fine. This is the thing with, when it comes to weapon balancing, some people don't care for weapon balancing. They, you know, if a weapon's OP, that's a massive boon to them. This is where, like, it comes down to, like, personal preference and stuff. I personally like things to be balanced. So the recoil pattern on the weapon is, But it's kind of hard to control the recoil, but it's not extremely. If you're anyone who plays like a competitive shooter, you shouldn't have like much of an issue. That's me trying to control the recoil pattern. I'm just gonna let it. That's if you don't control the recoil pattern, it just kicks straight up. Actually, there's a kick. Kicks up and to the right a bit. Yeah, you can easily kind of keep it somewhat on target with minimal effort. Hello? Weirdly, because of the pause in the fire rate when you go full auto, it's actually quite easy to control. I feel like if you had the burst fire mode, it'd be a little bit harder. Hello? Anybody? Enemies? Hello? I was saying that at range, it's a bit not that it's like inherently hard to control. It just seems that like some of the bullets look like they're ghosting, which it could be down to my poor aim. Ow. So if we like, Jesus Christ, why is everything exploding? So if we like hit this guy here. Am I missing, or no? He's behind a metal beam. That's apparently, yeah. Yeah, like, all in all, it's a decent weapon. I think that the mod author is asking, in my opinion, I think they're asking a little bit too much. I think that the weapon textures and stuff is really cool. I think that they should tone down personally, I think they should tone down the damage a little bit, and realistically, and I've said this before, I don't think that the mod authors should be allowed to make paid mods of weapons if the weapons if they're not added to the base game as like in the level list, so you know, so you can loot them and buy them, because it just feels a bit, you know, like I wouldn't mind if, you know, you can craft it alongside it being a weapon that can spawn in the loot table. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. As always, if you like it here, don't forget to subscribe and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.